consent matters. All right, shower is completed. That's not okay. Oh, I just saw the gnat again. That's not okay, in my opinion. Oh! I will be a plus size influencer who has died. That is crazy. This video is so raw, you guys. Fuck.
Damn, what a real bitch is saying.
Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Hens, and I'm back here with Amberlynn. This is Weigh-In episode 10, and this is called There Is Something I Have to Tell You. But she used too many periods. So, yeah. Let's get into it.
Hello. Welcome to another weekly weigh-in. So let's get into the 5 questions.
Okay.
What kind of coping skills are you using during times where you want to overeat? So there's a few that I use, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's all about practice.
No, it's not. Because if it were about practice for you, you have like 20 plus years of practice because it didn't start when you were an adult and it didn't start when you started your YouTube channel. So grow up and get help.
So sometimes I set an alarm for about 10 minutes and I kind of just like sit with the feeling, and sometimes it passes. I journal about how I'm feeling to figure out like, why do I want to overeat? Because usually there's like an underlining reason. It's not just like,
It's not underlining, it's underlying. Lying.
oh, I love to eat. For me, there's definitely something underlining. And sometimes journaling about that
Underlying.
distracts me, and it helps me be like, wow, I actually don't think I need food. I distract myself with things that make
Wow.
me happy, like my fur babies. I watch something on YouTube.
Do you drink a glass of water? Because usually if you're hungry and you know that you've just eaten or not eaten too long ago, you know that you're not hungry. You need something to drink. Like water.
a TV show. I do my Legos, things like that. Sometimes I will literally remove myself from wherever I'm at. I also do this when I get extremely
I also find it funny because she's at home all day, and I know that her apartment complex has like a gym and they probably have a pool. She could literally be doing exercises when everybody is at work, so she doesn't feel so self-conscious if she were really as mobile as she claims.
anxious, and sometimes that also helps then too. So for an example, say I'm just sitting in my living room and all of a sudden I just have this overwhelming urge to order DoorDash. Sometimes I'll literally just like stand up and remove myself. I'll like go in the kitchen,
That's stupid. If you are like feeling DoorDash and you go in the kitchen, why don't you just make yourself a snack? What the fuck?
clean a couple dishes, or I'll just be like, hey Twinkie, do you want to go outside? Or I'll go into my room. Like I'll literally just remove myself. These things are definitely easier said than done.
I think if that were true, we wouldn't have seen pictures of wifey walking Twinkie. You would have been using it as a coping mechanism then too. Because you said that you learned a lot of these things before then, and then that took it to the next level, the therapy you were undergoing during the weight loss surgery arc.
You just have to be kind to yourself and patient, and it's like that muscle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Why do you watch healthy eating content? So it's not something that I like search out, but if it pops up and I happen to see it and I don't skip through it, it's usually because it's motivating me to be healthier. Like I
No, it's not. Because one of the things I noticed is that there is a dietitian who does a lot of shorts. She's one of the new age dietitians who's like about adding stuff to your meals instead of taking away. And then Amberlynn copied her vocal intonation almost exactly when she was doing that whole spiel because she just copied the woman. She actually does provide recipes and she talks about all of the gastrointestinal effects on her body, or because she does have a disorder, but then also like talks about working on her relationship with food. It's all of the stuff Amberlynn has been parroting out of nowhere recently. And I started watching those videos because I started getting them recommended to me maybe about a month and a half ago, 2 months. Yeah. And so that's why I really think that that's what it is.
I love a good meal idea. I need inspiration in that area. Does Mama Lynn ever discourage you from making bad food choices? No, because I think she also understands. She does sometimes.
Understands what? That you're going to croak? That you're literally shaping yourself out to look like a toad all hunched up. Do you know what they look like, Amber? They look like a ball.
sometimes try to encourage me to like cook more instead of ordering takeout as much. Why didn't you know you had hyperthyroidism in the past? So, usually your doctor decides what labs they want done based on the things that you guys talk about.
Eh, it depends because I have had like full blood work done before, and then that was before like just to establish a baseline, and then when they had specific questions, like my allergies were really out of control about a year and a half ago, and so I had to go because I kept like having, it was like I was sick all the time, but it was my allergies. And so they figured out like, oh, these are the things you're eating all the fucking time, and so it's literally killing you a little bit. And like, so now I don't eat those things, and I'm much better, way less inflamed. Can you say that, Amber?
That appointment was very hyper focused on weight loss because I was talking to him about Zepbound and I was telling him about
That doesn't make sense because he would have done blood work on your like liver and stuff, and then just to make sure, and then your kidneys, just to make sure that your elimination is good, and then all of your blood work, the other stuff that you did, like the A1C and shit, like that makes sense if you're gonna start a GLP-1.
how difficult it was for me to lose weight. Like he knows about my lipedema, my lymphedema, my menopause,
Does he know that you've been overweight since you were a literal child, and that you actively engaged in harmful food behaviors when you were a teenager and above? Does he know that?
hysterectomy, et cetera, et cetera. He knows about all that. But he was like, when's the last time you've had your thyroid checked? And I was like, when I was 15, because that is the last time. And when I had it checked when I was 15,
Please. They didn't check it at all when you had cancer? Really?
like it was fine. And he was like, oh, we should probably check that. So that's the only reason why we checked it. And turns out
That seems suspect as fuck. But also, you have to remember, even when Amber was going with Crystal and Destiny all the time to the ER and to the doctor, because she had to be in the doctor's room, she was in the examination room with Crystal. What the fuck? She had to be there. The entire time they were dating slash living together, I think that maybe Crystal went a couple of times alone. But Amber always filmed when she was there because she would be playing. This one time she was playing with something that was on the wall. She knocked it down and didn't pick it up. She tried to hide that she knocked it down like a fucking child.
yep, hypothyroidism. Why do you look at yourself when you're eating on camera? So I think it's just a natural
I just find myself so pretty. My eyes sparkle and light up when I'm putting food inside my mouth. You know?
habit that us YouTubers have. I don't like watching myself eat.
Amber, most of the mukbangs I've ever seen, and I haven't seen that many. Mostly I used to watch Stephanie Sue and like when she would do the story time stuff, but like she wouldn't be looking at the camera when she put it in her mouth ever. She mostly tried to be not sexual with it.
It's nothing weird like that. It's kind of just like, where should our eyes go? So let's talk about the goals that I had last week. It was to keep a food journal and to take my medication. And I did both of those things. I noticed that keeping a food journal, I do eat a little bit more than like my body feels because I'm telling you at night, I'm like, oh my God, why am I so hungry? Blah, blah, blah. I was able to look at my journal and be like, well, you kind of ate a decent amount. So why are you hungry, Amberlynn? But if it wasn't for me having the journal, I wouldn't have had that answer. In my brain,
Is that just because you're stupid? Like what? You're the one who ate the shit that you ate that day. If you cannot recall the things that you're eating, you have issues. You're not out running errands and doing stuff and busy living a life. You're sitting around in your fucking apartment, melting, rotting away. What are you talking about?
I would have been like, maybe I didn't eat much today. Let's have something else. So it was nice to have that awareness throughout the week. And then taking
This is the rambling of an insane woman. And I mean that in the kindest way possible. Get help. Because this is really, if you were a better person, it would be sad to watch because it's basically like watching that person talking to nobody because they don't have anybody in their life to get them help because they're so far down in the delusion and they don't want to take the medicine or they were taking it and they stopped like Amber did. She doesn't understand how out of touch she sounds.
taking my meds on time and when I'm supposed to. It's been really easy because I got a pill organizer. So my goals for this week is one, keep up with the medicine, and two, start using my Owala water bottle. So I finally drank the rest of my actual
Yes,
like
it's like practically a name
plastic
brand.
water bottles that you buy at the store. And I bought a reusable water bottle that I can use. And so I've been
Oh,
drinking 2 water bottles a day, sometimes 3, but usually 2. And that's about 30
hmm.
ounces of water. But my Owala is 40 ounces. So my goal is literally just to drink one of those a day, 30 ounces of water. But my Owala is 40 ounces. So
The only reason she's going through all this goral math is because everybody keeps calling her out on the fact that she declared that she no longer had to drink water as a goal, that she no longer needed to think about it because it was just so innate to her. Really, Amber? And now she's saying she's going through it to say, well, see, by definition, I'm just going to be drinking more because it's 10 ounces more.
my goal is literally just to drink one of those a day and then eventually move on to 2. Now I'm going to talk about how my week went. So some days were better than others because the beginning of this week, I was having a lot of mental health. I have been
But she's already setting herself up because she's like, and I'll move from 1 to 2. So you're going to double it instead of just adding like half of one. So you could do 1.5 to step up. That's her problem. She always thinks that she can rush to the end. She thinks that she's that girly pop who doesn't have to put out effort.
having a lot of mental health days that have been really low. And I have been like catching myself not really caring about the food that I'm putting in my mouth. Yes,
Interesting. 500 pounds. I just don't care. I just can't find myself to care. Ugh, I can't find my sympathy bone for myself.
I am trying harder. Yes, I'm also adding healthier foods to my diet, but there are some days where I definitely emotionally ate. So if I am being quite frank with you guys, I'm noticing that I'm not being as transparent or as vulnerable or as open as I would like to be in my weigh in videos or my what I ate today videos. There are things that I want to say, there are things that I want to talk about,
What?
but I'm not.
Tell
I
me.
have the biggest wall up, like
What?
literally, it is made of the toughest brick you've ever been able to like get your hands on.
What is brick made out of, Amber?
It is made of metal. It is a million feet high and a
Bricks are not made out of metal. Not normally. What the fuck? What the fuck?
million feet wide. Like, you can't get past it. And I genuinely think it's because of all the backlash that I receive. My issues with
If that's the quote unquote toughness of the wall that's up, it's clearly a very transparent wall because we can see everything happening behind it.
my weight, my struggles with food, my issues with my mental health, and my struggles with how that reflects in my food, whether it be due to trauma or just issues
You're just repeating the same thing you've said all these years. Do you remember? You started your channel at like 368 or something like that, 365. You're almost 200 pounds heavier, and you've already made a video where you got to 200 pounds heavier, and you were lamenting the fact that you had not changed yourself in the amount of time that you had been filming yourself on YouTube. Like, what is wrong? And that's why people ask, what is it going to take for Amber to change? And that's why I say a headstone.
that I have in general, it is not perceived in the way that it should be. People are too harsh.
In the way that it should be. I can dictate how you all think about me. I can tell you what you are and are not allowed to think. I am the thought police. Who are you?
Too mean, too cruel, and it's pushing me away without a doubt. So
Aw.
I am thinking about stopping the weigh in videos and I'm thinking about stopping the what I ate today videos. It's
Aw.
something that I truly have to think about and decide because I need
You better not make 45-minute videos.
to protect the little bit of sanity
You'll be at 2 times speed.
that I do have. I'm just not met with kindness in an area of my
Aw.
life that is not impacting anyone.
I mean, the thing is, the unkindness in her words is just critique. Like, at the end of the day, you don't have to read your comment section. I know you're going to continue to watch reaction channels, but like most reaction channels give at least 50% advice as well as making fun of you and the shit that you do. Mostly it's the shit that you do. It's not even you necessarily. Like, but it's the fact that you think that everything can be excused because you want to make it. Like, You just think that whatever you feel is the most real thing in the world, and everybody else be damned if they just don't accommodate you in the moment. It doesn't make any sense, especially when you don't actually contribute to anything or anyone. You don't. You're a drain, even to this day. You rely on the kindness of strangers to survive. You have no skills, and if you lost YouTube, you would be out of your apartment as soon as you run out of money, which would be expedited by the fact that you're going to overeat during that time out of stress because you have no options. And if you ever try to move over to doing live streaming full time over on like Twitch or on TikTok, you're not going to have the fun time that you think. You're going to go the way that Eugenia Cooney went. She abandoned Twitch because she kept having incidents, and then now she's on TikTok e-begging for Jeffree Star. Do you want to end up like that? Honestly,
besides myself. I can't imagine ever being mean to someone or cruel to someone or saying harsh things.
that's a lie. You literally half of your content with your exes as soon as you break up is you disparaging them in front of the next ex. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Someone that is just simply struggling and documenting that online, regardless.
Because you want to be paid for it. That's why. With every job, you have a job review. Unless you're just some golden child or, ooh, sorry, I know that's what you'd like to say that you were called, or if you're the subject of nepotism from somebody who actually has some sort of say in the company. That's pretty much the only ways that you would be in the position that you're in now, and none of your family can provide that to you. So that's how I can say that you are e-begging online to make a living. That's it. There's no content. You don't do anything. You don't go anywhere. You don't film anything that none of us have ever seen or that we cannot see for ourselves. It's crazy that you think that you're living this fantastic life when your audience has actually paid you in a way that you could have done that. And yet you don't even do that. You don't even just buy a whole row of seats on an airplane so that you can go somewhere. You can't be bothered because you would have to have somebody go with you to drive you around and to navigate the world for you. Because at 34 years old, you've never gone anywhere on your own, you've never done anything on your own, and you've never been a success on your own. It's pathetic.
Regardless, let's get into the actual weigh-in. So last week I was 516.0, and this week I'm
521.
513.8.
Oh, oh, you just keep bouncing back and forth.
So I'm down 2.2 pounds. I'm not mad about it because I did have a little bit of a fluctuation
I'm not mad about it because even though I claimed that the weight going up was just inflammation, the weight going down is fat.
last week. This might be a fluctuation this week. Who knows? Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Bye. And now, let's look at the comments. I find it highly unlikely that none of your past doctors have ever checked your thyroid levels. Yeah, same. I find it very difficult to believe. Free range, underlining. Mama doesn't say anything because she let you down in the past and is now enabling you. Pretty much. And she just kind of exposed her mom for that. I think she did that on purpose to kind of deflect the blame. Well, my mom doesn't tell me no. Well, my mom says I can have it. That's embarrassing at 34. Same story, different day. Show us your Uber Eats account. You just have to be kind to yourself. I wouldn't consider somebody who's 500 plus pounds as someone who is kind to themselves in any way. Underlining. It's underlying, girly pop. She's been talking about healthy coping tactics for years and is 600 pounds. Ooh. You are so low effort, it's embarrassing. Yep. It's like breathing is all the effort she can manage. God. Amber, real talk. Every time you feel the urge, drink water. That's what I said. Drink water or go for a walk. Yep. That's what I fucking said. Because when you just sit in it, when you're just doing nothing, one of the first things you reach for is food, especially if you're habituated to it. God damn, Amber. And she really wants to lecture us about what we need to do. to improve our relationship or generally to improve somebody's relationship. And yet she's never once demonstrated it. Big Al blaming everything but her own gluttony. How typical. Oh, how typically. You literally filmed these right before your members only live streams. I believe she films them after. But yes, this is the same outfit she was wearing because we're going to take a look at the 5-minute public live stream. It was really just she was testing the waters to see how many people would show up who were around that time of night and who would show up if it was public. That's what she was doing. Because remember, she was saying she was going to test out doing 1 hour and then 1 hour, but this was the test. It was a 5-minute oopsie. This is the actual look of someone spiraling out of control. 100%. 100%. And her mom knows it too because she's been there. And that's what's sad, that she's helping her. And then everybody else in the family obviously knows too because they've multiple members of her family have struggled with addiction. Not just her core family. Amber, please ask your therapist to help you differentiate between cruelty and honesty. Yes. Let us go to the live stream that she did. Okay, let's hop right in to this shitty quality. Amber, people literally pay you so much fucking money. Buy a camera. It's like $200 max. Like, you don't have to use. Wait, doesn't she have a vlogging camera still? Like, you can plug that in and use that. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is wrong with her? And I know that you can't improve the quality of the stream because your MacBook Air doesn't have an Ethernet plug. It's one of the major drawbacks. And she doesn't know anything about a USB Ethernet plug.
I'm not trolling.
Yes, you are.
Hello? Santa trolling mama, she's a baby boy.
I hate that. And the fact that I had to hear it means that you're gonna means that you're gonna hear it multiple times played back now.
Santa trolling mama, she's a baby boy. 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 Hello? No. I did not mean to do that. Wait.
The yelling is too much though.
Hold on. I thought I was in members. Hold on.
No, she didn't. Because for some reason, I think that it defaults back to whichever one you just did the last time. So the last stream she did would have been a members only stream. I'm not sure though.
I did not mean to do that. Wait.
Why is she fucking yelling?
Hold on. I thought I was in members. Hold on.
No, she didn't. I'm pretty sure that it defaults back to whichever one you did the last time. I don't think it goes to just basic, like open to everybody. I don't know though.
What is happening? This is not the right moment here.
Then quit. Then close out of it, say bye-bye, and say, sorry, made a mistake. It didn't have to be 5.5 minutes.
Hi.
Bye.
I have kitty cat wasabi right here.
The baby talk is gross. It's like, I bet she talks to other people, like strangers like that. I bet she does. And it's like, you're 34. We don't talk to other people like that once we hit 30, Amber. What the fuck? Like, and it's not really something that you need to do in front of other people necessarily either. Like, nobody's going to take extra enjoyment from seeing you do that with wasabi. If you just showed him, that would be enough. Doing that makes it a repulsive event.
Oh, she's just a pet in the babes. Um, am I drunk? No. I had to end my
No, she's just high.
members live stream like 9 million times because my internet keeps messing up. And every single time, every single time I remember to click members. And this time I was like rushing real quick. And yeah.
This face says I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this was on purpose, and it was just like I was said. She was saying that she was gonna do the hour and an hour, 1 hour for members, 1 hour for public, and our audience, the members, they said no. They said don't do that, or else we're gonna cancel. This was her way around that. It's what people like her do when they test boundaries. They do it. Oh, oopsie. I didn't know you didn't want me to do that, even though you've expressly told me not to. That's what they do. And then if it's not enough of a backlash, then they'll continue to do it more and more, or they'll just do it outright and make sure that you know it. Because Amber doesn't care. She's a transgressive person, and she loves crossing boundaries, especially ones that you've laid out for her. Because if it's not something that she chooses, she thinks that you're doing it to her. You're being cruel.
I forgot. Well, um, this is awkward. Wait, oh my god, can I do that one thing? I've been wanting to gift memberships now that we're here, but how?
No. That see? See? How convenient. Cuz you can't gift memberships to people in a members only live stream, I don't think. Maybe you can, but they wouldn't be in the stream. It would be weird. And then there's no guarantee that they're going to just show up, especially cuz she streams late at night and most people have jobs.
Does anyone know how to do that?
Yes,
Like
I
how do you
do.
gift memberships?
I shouldn't know how to do your job better than you, and I just started doing it.
Um I'm actually not 32, but thanks for the compliment.
Amber, 32 doesn't look different than 34. It really doesn't. I'm sorry that for you it does. It doesn't normally.
Oh my god, Window, you are not scammed. I love you. Where there's so many people. I don't know what to do. I was just Window, I am not 40. I was just having a calm collect. I just found out that eating carrots can turn you orange. Like
Oh, you just found that out, did you? Hmm. Who'd you find that out from?
that was a whole moment. I should not be here. Y'all, she's 43. Chill out. Literally. Um, I feel awkward. Am I supposed to go now and go back to my members?
Was that your first bottle of the day?
How do you gift memberships? Can someone like explain that to me?
You can look it up in YouTube Studio, or you can go to help when you're on your laptop all day. You can look then. Look it up then.
Hold on. Nope, that's not how. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. No, I'm completely sober. This is Amberlynn sober. Okay, let
That's
me
scary. That is scary.
figure out how to gift memberships since we're already here and I've been meaning to do this.
Like,
How
imagine that your normal state of being is like being drunk. That people actually have to ask, are they drunk?
do
It's giving Gary Busey energy.
I gift memberships on my own
No offense, I like Gary Busey. I liked him a lot. He was a funny comedian. However, it's giving Gary Busey.
live stream on the YouTube? Okay. This is so funny. How going to ChatGPT, stop. Ensure, okay, yes.
And Gary Busey's still alive. I thought he had died a couple of years ago. Damn.
Yes. In a live chat, click the money icon.
Oh shit, he's 80. Amber's not
Membership
gonna get there.
gifting. I don't have that option. I don't know how
Aww.
to gift membership.
YouTube said, "You're toxic enough, girly pop."
I feel really sad about it.
Aw, do you? You can't get 5 more free people in there for you?
So I'm gonna have to do
Aw,
more research on it because for some reason it's
will you?
like it doesn't have that option for me.
Hmm.
Um,
I won't be able to give any more before I go on. Actually, I'll probably be able. I think I can give more on probably Monday. What day is the first? Sunday. She doesn't post on Sunday, so Monday will be the earliest that I can gift more members. But I'll do that then because I'll be going on vacation on the 4th. Hell yeah.
that's so weird. Enable
When's the
it.
last time you went on vacation, Amber? You make way more money than me. When? When's the last time you treated yourself to something extravagant that you've never done before? Or not even extravagant, just like something that you've never done.
Oh, do I have to enable it? Probably, huh?
I don't
Anyways,
think so. I don't think so. If it's something that I set up, I did it initially, like, and never thought about it again. Because whenever I got the memberships enabled, I was like, and then I saw Jordy gifts his members out because he was doing the 5 free members, and that's how I found out you could do that. And so I've been doing it ever since.
I shouldn't be here right now.
Then hang up. Hang up the
I'm actually
phone.
geeking out. This is so funny. Um,
This is the height of her day. Accidentally doing a public live stream and talking for longer than necessary. Hmm.
so I don't know how this happened, but it happened. So I'm gonna go back to my members live stream, and if you guys want to join, become a member.
No. And that's what makes this an ad. This was all just some big ploy to get everybody to want to subscribe and become a member and join her community just so that they can talk to her and watch her sit on her fucking shelf ass. When she put the camera down to the side to show Wasabi, you could see all of her cards and stuff. Everything that she ever uses for her live streams is just right there on that couch. Amberlynn does not get up and walk around. No matter what she says, the evidence to the contrary says otherwise.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make anyone excited for this.
Who's
But now that I see that
excited?
so many people are like, "Oh my god, yes!"
I didn't see this until I woke up in the morning. I got great sleep last night. I went to bed around 9:30 and then woke up around 7.
I might have to do a public live stream soon. Me and Wasabi, we love you. We really, really love you. He says it. Okay, anyways. All right, guys. Bye.
Yes, anyways, after I've just used my cat as a prop. Bye, guys. Let's see what the comments say on here. A 34-year-old, by the way. Yep. Yep. It makes me kind of embarrassed to be 34. This makes me feel even better about not being a member. Yep. Something might be wrong with her. I'm not kidding. Uh, we know that there's something. We know there's something very wrong with her. Very wrong. The performative cackling got so old, and this wasn't even 10 minutes long. How high/drunk is she here? I think it's the Delta 9. I mean, Delta 8. Delta 9 is the good stuff. A 34-year-old immature toddler. Seriously. Honestly, though, like, why doesn't she drink? Aren't those drinks legal? Like the Delta 9 ones? Why doesn't she get that instead of drinking and instead of vaping? Like, that's a combination of the both of them. And I'm sure it's enough for Amber. Am I hallucinating or is she blurry? It's like her camera has a fingerprint smudge on it or something. No, that's just the potato quality of the MacBook Air. Because she has the previous version before they switched the M series chips. It's crap, especially for streaming. She's high as usual. She needs serious help. That's all I got from this and the video that she filmed. Am I blocked? No, you're not blocked. I think that's just engagement farming, though. Let's read one more. This one's good. I'm not sure which acting is better, this or when she did the "this letter says I'm adopted" prank from way back in the day. That sounds just like Amber's type of humor. Oh, I'm adopted. Isn't that funny? No, Amber, it's not funny to find out that way. Some people, when they find out that they're adopted, it ruins their lives because they find out that everything that what they knew was a lie. And for other people, it doesn't change at all because they've always loved their parents. It doesn't change the love they have, and it doesn't make them want to seek out the person that gave birth to them. But Amberlynn making fun of it in either situation, especially when she claims that she's thought and fantasized about what it would be like to have been taken and adopted. Like, that's sick. That is actually sick. And I don't understand how she doesn't get how perverse she is. She says that, "Oh, I just have black humor," and that's how she claimed that she started following that weird account on Instagram. But at the same time, you actively make these jokes yourself. You think that this is funny. Dehumanize, literal dehumanization of people who go through that process and what it means for them psychologically and socially. And ugh, it just all of these things that she does and says that everybody's just so mean and evil and just doesn't give her a break. You keep doing these things and it doesn't give people faith that you're going to change for the better. And that's why they give up on you. You have to start trying if you want people to not give up on you. Sorry if that's too much effort for you. If it is, you're going to end up alone, Amber, and your mom is going to help you do that. If you enjoyed this reaction, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a tree in the comments, since Amberlynn loves them. Bye.